Engineering services and Hofincons is a very interesting story. It's another magna in the making, and it's a terrific business to be in. Any idea when was the Make in India manufacturing program launched by the current government? Around when? Yeah, somebody got it right. 15th August. So it was, I think, at the Independence Day speech when this whole concept was brought out. So we didn't buy Hofincons after this announcement was made about Make in India. We bought this company actually. We invested in this company on the 28th of June in 2014. Hofincons actually is a 35-year-old company. It was involved in maintaining power plants, steel plants, ferrous, non-ferrous metals, process equipment, etc. I first heard of this company in the year 1991 when I used to work in SR. In the SR group, it was my second job. I worked there for about 8-9 years. A great part of my learning to becoming an entrepreneur came from actually being in the SR group, seeing how the SR group invests. They're terrific risk takers, and they built very rapidly, great scale in steel, oil, power, telecom, shipping. And each of the businesses became world-scale players, and they ran businesses with great ability. And I saw how they did that. So in the steel plant at Hazira, the entire steel plant was actually maintained by Hofincons. I remembered it from those days, and then figured out that when this transaction came to us, this is the same Hofincons that used to run the steel plants at Hazira. And then I had another friend of mine in Madras whose father worked in Hofincons as a director with them, and the gentleman is now actually in Japan. So I picked up the phone, called him up and said, I want to speak to your dad to find out more about this company. And then I spoke to his dad, who's now about 75, 80 years old, lives in Madras. And I said, I want to go across and meet him. So I met with him, met with some of his other colleagues from Hofincons, and then understood what this business is about. That's when I learned that this business actually, the mechanical form of IT outsourcing. You're supplying people to actually maintain machines, but you can't take it offshore. You can't take a turbine to your factory, maintain it. There's this continuous maintenance that has to be done. And it's a fantastic business because sticky business. You give a turbine to somebody to maintain, and you can't change him every 2 years. He gets used to the equipment. He's got all the tackles and tools for it, and he's got to be there on site doing it year after year, day after day. And there are 2-3 types of maintenance. There's condition maintenance. There is preventive maintenance. There is breakdown maintenance. So what is that? Preventive maintenance is doing some things every day. In your car, you check your air, you check your radiator if it's got. You don't check it anymore. The older cars, we for a long time at Madras. When I was a kid, we had a car that was then called a Herald, standard Herald. Have many of you seen it? Or sometimes used, I think, in marriages today, because it used to be a two-door car and with an open top. It looked nice in those days, but I must say it was a very, very fussy car to maintain. Nobody's heard of this Herald? So it shows we're getting old. It's crazy. There was another car called Gazelle at that time also. So the Herald car, we used to have to check the air almost once a week and check the water in the radiator almost once a week at least again. The distilled water in the batteries also very frequently. This is called preventive maintenance to prevent the Herald from breaking down. Our car often broke down, so obviously we had a very bad preventive maintenance system. We had only breakdown maintenance in those days to take care of these things. Breakdown maintenance when the car actually stops, and then you go and do breakdown maintenance. So Hofincons does preventive maintenance and breakdown maintenance for industrial establishments. So large power plants. If you have a power plant today that's, let's say, under 200 megawatts in size, you can give us the key and say, run the plant for us. We'll run it for you completely. You can go and sit in Hawaii and enjoy a holiday there. So that's the ability of this company. It was 35 years old. It was initially owned by Tyco. Tyco sold it to Transfields, and Transfields sold it to us. When Tyco bought Hofincons, Tyco had another business in India. Tyco had the business of building maintenance services. Building maintenance services also has a lot of electrical and mechanical maintenance. You look around today in the room today here. There's electrical and mechanical maintenance. Essentially means all the power lines and the water supplies. That's electrical and mechanical maintenance. There's also HVAC. Can somebody tell me what is HVAC? Yeah. That's the one that ensures that you don't freeze to death when you're listening to a very boring lecture on how somebody builds some companies. So heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and control is essentially what Tyco used to do through building management systems. So when we bought Hofincons, we got two parts of the business. We got industrial maintenance and we got building maintenance. We already had a business in facilities management. So this building maintenance business sat very well with our facilities business. Previously, in facilities, we were doing only soft services. What are soft services? Hygienes, maintaining, ensuring that the premises is clean. So today we were able to offer an integrated service along with this. So which means we are able to clean the facility and we are able to maintain all the electrical mechanical facilities. So we get one contract from the client. Previously, otherwise the client, if MDI today has to maintain this facility, what all do they have to do? They have to get a security guy to prevent unauthorized visitors who will come and sit in a classroom like this. We have to have security people. You've got to have pest control. India is a country of, if you stand here long enough, you stand here, I don't know about here, but I can tell you for sure in Bangalore and Bombay. But 20 minutes you stand here outside the window and look outside, you'll see one rat. All it takes is 20 minutes to see a rat. So it's a country that's infested with, and you have all kinds of new fevers that come from India, right from, I'm told there's tomato fever, there's chikungunya, there is something else. All of them come from hygiene in India. That's why you have this campaign for Swachh Bharat. It's very, very rightful campaign to do. I think the government is doing a great job by initiating this. So we're able. So if you MDI, go back to this. You have security services, you have pest control, you have soft services to keep this facility clean, you have hard services to maintain the facilities, you have transport services to take people around from here. You have food services. Food services is essentially to provide food inside the campus. We provide, incidentally, in one of our business, we have a food service business. The Azim Premji University in Bangalore, we provide food inside the campus there. Then you also need, what else? You need landscaping. There's so much green space around this landscaping. All these are good business. The landscape cannot be e-maintained. You can't have, a site like Flipkart or Myntra come and maintain your landscape. It has to be done physically. We like business of this type, which cannot be automated up to beyond a certain point. It needs to be done again and again. So Hofincons has been a terrific acquisition for us. It had only one integrated business. It used to do all this work. It had 6,000 engineers across India. What we've now done is we've broken this company down into 4 parts. We've broken it down by verticals. We've got an oil and gas vertical, we've got an energy vertical, we've got an engineering vertical, light engineering vertical for manufacturing, etc. And we've got a ferrous and non-ferrous metals vertical. So each vertical we are hopeful will create another Hofincons. So if Hofincons was, let's say, 150 crores motamoti at its size when we bought it, we are hoping that in 3 to 4 years' time, each of these verticals can become another Hofincons. I can't put any numbers to it, obviously, but that's the theory that we're able to create. That's the hypothesis, that we can create more out of this one company because they have ability for all these verticals. Another thing that we're doing is that we're taking this outside India. So, any idea where is the largest LNG facility or the LNG reserves in the world found? Somebody said Qatar. Exactly. Qatar. There's another one in Abu Dhabi. They've got the Das Island there. They've got 2-3 other facilities. They're very large. Transfield previously used to do work in all these facilities, and Transfield has decided to exit India and the Middle East totally. So they sold us this composite India and the Middle East to us. So we, having acquired rights to their work in India and the Middle East, now we have to go and set up shop in the other geographies. So it represents a good opportunity for us. I think Hofincons will become, on the back of the manufacturing focus in India, a significant domestic player as well. The third one is Avon. Avon is a facilities management company, a very small company when we bought it. When IKEA invested here, Avon had 1,100 people working for it. It had revenues of about 12 crores. It was not making any money. It was not profitable, and it had largely Bangalore-based shareholders, all of them, Bangalore. So we transferred the business of Avon into a new company. So we recapitalized the company. Actually, the capital that went into this was of the order of about $1 million or so at that time. Growing from then to now, from 1,100 people, this company has now reached 15,000 people. From 1,100 people. From 2009, I think, so from the time we invested there. From revenue size of 11, it's now about 250 crores. From zero EBITDA, it's now almost about 17, 18 crores of EBITDA. That's the transformation that's taking place here. So in each company, why am I giving you these numbers and how we've done it? It's for you to understand how does a business grow? What goes into it? How do we think about it? What goes into our mind when we look at an asset at the time of its purchase? Why did we look at Avon? Around the time that we invested in Avon was when the Lehman Brothers bust up happened. All businesses were down. Anywhere you looked, the world looked flattened. So that book, there is the book that was written about a flat world, it looked very real. Because nothing was growing. There was nothing that looked serious, at that time. The markets were down, and usually in a situation like this, what happens? First thing that managements do is they cut advertising, they cut training, they cut recruitment. All discretionary expenditures cut when times are bad. So our essential business in those days was only recruitment and staffing. And we found that we were at the bottom of the curve. This was a huge situation. How do you recover from this? The world is not looking any more promising than it did the day before. So we had to do something, or to be in a business which we could do very easily and understand. At the same time, that business needed to be something that will not go away. So in the staffing business, we are supplying people but not taking responsibility for their activity. In facilities management, you supply people and you take responsibility for their activity. But what is the activity they're doing? They're doing cleaning services. If you're good husbands, most of you will be doing some cleaning at home. If you're obedient sons, also you'll be doing. And most of us here generally know what cleaning is. It's not a big entry barrier into cleaning services. So it's a job we thought we should be able to do, and that's why we got into it. You take MDI today. How many people maintain the MDI campus? How many people do you think maintain the MDI campus? About 70, 80? How large is the campus? 40 acres. How much built-up area is here? I would think about, let's say, you must be having about 120,000 square feet of space, built-up area, plus landscaping and all that stuff. So my sense is you must be having about 70, 80 people maintaining this campus. If MDI goes bankrupt, how many people will you still have? Or let's say not bankrupt. It's very difficult, for an educational institution to go bankrupt. Very, very difficult. If it faces difficulties at some point in time, your 70 or 80 people working here to maintain this campus can become at best 50. You can't take the 50 people away. It's like essential services. It's like power and water. You need it all the time. So that's why this business is attractive to us. That we could remain in this business regardless of another economic meltdown. That's paid off fantastically. This is a business, the real estate business. This industry has been growing by about 25% year on year. The facilities management industry, because of two reasons. One is the amount of real estate growth. You can look around you, around Delhi, and see the amount of real estate growth that's taking place. The second one is the growth of structured, regulated players like us who come in to maintain facilities. It's probable that the flat that you stay in today, the apartment complex that you stay in today, will be just maintained by 5 people who are in the society's roles, or you've given the contract for that to let's say somebody down the road, a plumber come, electrician come, soft service guys doing it. When that business is given to us, that becomes a structured industry. It becomes, in a sense, we come with road and fund, we come with all the regulatory aspects covered. So there is an assurance for the flat owners that this is being done by somebody who's been trained and who's being paid right and whose compliances are in shape. So a large part of the maintenance of real estate today is moving to such companies. So the growth of 20-25% that this industry is seeing is not only coming from the creation of fresh real estate, but from the movement of industry, from the unregulated to the more structured environment. So this is another business that we are in. We're happy to be in this. We want to do more and more of this work inside the campus. So we do right now soft services, hard services. We do pest control. We maintain almost 130 million square feet of space today across India, employing 15,000 people, out of which about 30 million square feet we also do pest control today. We do the airport. So every time you go to the airport and you use the toilet space, use it carefully because we're maintaining. Don't create any more work for us than we're supposed to do there. The T3 facility is what we're doing. We also maintain hospitals. The Medanta Medicity Hospital here, we have a lot of people working here. We have another 7 hospitals across India that we do. We maintain educational facilities. We do malls. We do in hospitality. We do guest houses. We also do residential complexes. So we will also now start in public utility areas. For example, railway stations, bus stops, parks, which are places where people congregate. So we're breaking that business down by verticals, etc. We also